Hi, my name is Carolyn Atkins, and for my reading engagement 1, I decided to do a collection of pieces of art that I drew myself from the story of Lives of the Dead by Timothy O'Brien. For the first one, I kind of started from the beginning of the story, so I put the most effort into this one, just kind of like showing him in the first scene where he's out on the battleground, kind of rummaging through this town that has been, completely destroyed, and he sees the dead man with one arm, and everybody starts to talk about, say hi to him and make jokes, and this really grosses Timothy O'Brien out. And so he starts to tell the story here. So here I have Timothy O'Brien kind of looking back on his buddies and the dead man with one arm. You can kind of see in the background, here's the town, there's the fence that he was leaning up against. There's rubble everywhere, buildings have been destroyed, a pathway that they've come down that even has been blocked by some bricks, but just him looking back at them, and he just kind of, this is the moment where he starts to remember the stories and the memories from his childhood of his friend who had passed away. My second one that I drew was kind of, it cuts to the next scene of the story of how he tells about himself and the girl in the car riding home after their first date together at 9 years old. So I have it here. There is him looking at the girl. There's her little hat right there. I drew a street lamp kind of shining on her because everything else is darker and shaded, because really he thought she was the world and thought she was the greatest thing ever, even at the age of 9. And this is how he chose to picture her and keep her in his memories, just as a beautiful light in his life, without letting her die. And just keeping those stories alive. These are things he thinks of, even until he gets in his 40s and things like that. The last one I drew is of Tim as a young boy walking down the street, which it kind of talks about that in the last part of the story. He's walking down the street, and there's 3 different shops here, which kind of represent the 3 different phases of his life. The first one says candy shop, and it's kind of faded, and it's shaded more, and it's darker. The second one says Tim's Army Surplus. That one's a little less faded, but still faded more. The one here it says Forgotten Stories Books, which is kind of his phase of life now. He's writing down all these forgotten stories, keeping the memories of the lives of the dead people in his life alive by retelling their stories. Also here you see the girl. She's walking, but she's very, very faded because she's such a memory in his mind that he's not willing to let go of yet. So he's still holding on to her, and she's always behind him in his mind and his thoughts, always nearby, which is really creepy. But hey, it's a story, and that's how it goes. So those are my 3 collections of art, and that was my reading assignment for week 1. Thank you very much.